Sometimes budgeting can seem too complex or too stressful, and there's so many different options out there, but I like to really simplify things as much as possible as I try to take the ideas of minimalism and kind of combine them with my finances, and that is where the 70% rule comes in. Now, I like to use a bunch of different rules in areas of my life, kind of guidelines that if I follow this guideline overall, in general, my life will go in the right direction. I don't have to make as many choices. It just kind of simplifies things. All right, so what is the 70% rule? Now, the 70% rule is a pretty simple way of budgeting your money. So your first step is to figure out how much money you have coming in. So that means adding up your paycheck, any side hustles that you have, any extra income you have from anywhere. And this means net, not gross. So this means after taxes and everything like that comes out of your paycheck. Once you have that number, that's gonna be your baseline. So now you know how much is coming in. For the example that I'm gonna use throughout the rest of this video, we're gonna say it's around $4,000 a month. Because it's a round number, and I'm not good at math. Now that we have that number, we are gonna take 70% of that number. So if you're making $4,000 a month, that is $2,800. And that 70% is gonna try to cover all of your expenses, your house, your clothing, your food, your transportation, your medical, your cable, your subscriptions, anything you can think of that is an expense will go in this category. Now, for most people, especially when you're first getting started, it's gonna be really hard to get all your expenses below 70% of your income. You're probably at 90% or 100% right now. So if that is you, the first step is to really start looking at your expenses and seeing what you can cut down. And that actually leads great into the sponsor of this video that I've been using to save a decent amount of money. So I thought I would share it with you guys, Frugal. Now, Frugal is kind of like an all-in-one finance app. You can see your checkings, savings, balances, investments, all in one place. But my favorite part of it, especially since I've been trying to lower my monthly expenses, is they show you all of your subscriptions. And there was a few on there that I was able to cancel because I literally forgot I had the subscription. So you're paying money every month for something you forgot you had, whether it was a gym membership for me or having extra music or video subscriptions that you don't even use anymore. It just makes it really simple to look at all your subscriptions and then you can cancel them right through the app. Now, the average American spends about $200 a month on subscriptions, but we think we spend around $80 a month. So that means we have, roughly twice as many subscriptions as we think we do. So this is definitely a really good tool that can save us a lot of money. You can also use their app to lower monthly bills, and they have an 85% success rate with negotiating and lowering bills, which is really cool. So if you guys want to check them out, I'll leave a link down in the description. I think it's a really cool tool if you're looking to save money. A lot of features on there I didn't even get to, so check that out. And thank you again to Frugal for sponsoring this portion of this video. By the way, if you guys are getting some value out of this so far, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Now, the next portion to look at is that 20%. If you are in debt, it should go towards paying off that debt, specifically high interest consumer debt. Now, I personally don't think you should try to pay off your mortgage early because you're probably paying, 3-4% on that. But if you're paying like 25% on credit card interest, that is something that you should absolutely try to pay off as soon as possible. So maybe to start off, most of that 20% is going to pay off debt, and then eventually it goes to saving up for an emergency fund, and then saving up for a couple of months worth of living expenses, and then it can start going into investing once you have that certain amount paid up. But whatever you're doing with it, you're using that 20% very efficiently to pay off debt, start saving, and then start investing. And then if you can get your expenses any lower than 70%, you want to try to add that into the savings and investing part. And then within that savings, I like to have a certain amount that goes towards savings for specific things. Sometimes 2% or 5% or 10%, whatever it is for you, to start saving towards, going on a trip or buying something that you're really looking forward to as a family, just saving up for something exciting. And then the rest of it can go more into long-term emergency fund or saving up for investments or something like that. I also put most of my investments and savings and anything I really can onto auto pay or auto transfer so that I never have a chance to look at the money. It just immediately goes into another account. So I would definitely recommend that as well. You just kind of pretend that the money doesn't exist and there's no way that you can touch it unless something actually catastrophic happens. And then that last 10%, which would equal out to around $400 a month, will go towards charities. But if you're not into that, finding a cause that you're really passionate about and trying to help people, I think is something that is super important. Even if you don't have a lot of money, giving what little that you do have to other people in need, I think reaps a lot of benefits for yourself in your own life, your mental health, and also, like, a lot of us, if you're watching this video, you probably have more money than a ton of other people in the world. So no matter where you are, still being really grateful for what you have and helping where you can, even if it's not a lot, is super important, I think. But if you're not into donating, that can go towards investments or college funds or retirement accounts or anything like that. Now, I like this because it works with most incomes. If you have lower income, you still should be trying to do anything you can to have an emergency fund and pay off debt. Just because you're not making a lot of money doesn't mean you should be digging deeper into a hole. But as your income also begins to scale and eventually you end up getting, maybe a nicer house or another car or something like that, it also works to try to keep everything under that 70%. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.